Now we finna jump and change a little course, and we finna get into Gad. Okay, we finna get into Gad. That these devils know. These devils knew what they was doing, man. And this is some more edification that these devils know who the children of Israel are. Because they got the records. They got the in the Library of Congress, the Smithsonian Institute, and in the Vatican. You see? They got the records. So it wasn't hard for them to know who Israel is. So the devils got the records. And this is in the Jewish 1980 Jewish Almanac. Them rats. Okay? The elders brought this out. Elder Ayathan, you know, brought it out.
Matter of fact, Elder McCarthy did a video about this slavery. He brought out a good one on there too about how the what's that dude, Columbus? How he wasn't really funded by King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. It was by another dude. It's a video he did. Actually, it's his walk and talk number 72. So if you brothers can take a look at it, it's pretty good. The Particulars of Slavery, that's what it's called. Like, title. This is walk and talk number 72. You know, I watched that today. It was pretty good. It was edifying and everything.
All right, give me 1 Thessalonians 5 and 5 and 20. I mean, no, 5 and 1 Thessalonians 5 and 19.
Matter of fact, it was put together, the Jewish Almanac by Richard Siegel and Carl Raines. Y'all want to order the book or something?
Yeah, you showing the picture of it?
Yeah, I'll show you the book.
Quench not the spirit, despise not the prophecies, prove all things, hold fast that which is good.
So, just because the elders brought it out, don't mean other brothers in other camps of GMS cannot bring it out. So that's for edification, because you got some people might not see what the elders brought it out. You see? So read that again.
And some brothers, and some brothers watch certain brothers. You know, certain brothers just watch, you know, they might watch this camp or that camp. They might get edified watching this camp, you know.
1 Thessalonians 5 and 19. Quench not the spirit, despise not the prophecies. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good.
So that's what we're doing, is the word. We hold fast to that which is good, which is the word, okay? Now we're finna prove that the rats know that the North American Indians, which is Gad, they know they are one of the tribes of Israel, okay? Like the Jewish Almanac, the 1980.
Page 122. The American Indians is the subtitle.
Yeah, in chapter 12, what is this, chapter 12?
12, yeah.
Yeah, this is chapter 12, all right?
Okay, it says 122.
122, that's what we're starting at, all right?
It says the Dominican Fair Diego Duran advanced the pointing by arguing that the Spanish conquest of the America was in fact one of the afflictions ordained by the Lord for Israel as punishment. Then too, if the Indians were indeed lost Israel, the wearisome task of converting them would take a heightened significance as redemption of the Lord's own chosen people. One of the most noteworthy discoverers of Hebrews in the New World was a Portuguese named Antonio de Montezino, known as Aaron Levy, who arrived in Amsterdam in 1644. with a tale calculated to amaze 2 years previously. He said he had been led deep into the mountain wilderness of Ecuador to a meeting with 4 Indians who had greeted him with Shema Israel.
So in other words, they were speaking Hebrew, and they were speaking Hebrew. Give me Deuteronomy chapter, what you got? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 6 and 4, and then give me Mark. Deuteronomy 6 and 4, and then give me Mark 12 and 30. Read it again,
It says, he had been led deep into the mountainous wilderness of Ecuador to a meeting with 4 Indians who had greeted him with Shema Israel.
Yeah, Shema Yasha Allah Yahweh Allah Yahweh Yahweh Akut. So that's what they were saying in the Hebrew. Alright? And he finna read, that means the translation of that is Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Go ahead and read it out.
Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
So that's the beginning of it. Shema. You know, Yasha Allah, Yahweh Allah, Yahweh Yahweh Akut. So that was the beginning of it. So they were speaking Hebrew, and that's the translation of it. Read it again,
Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
So that's what I just said in the Hebrew, and that's what they was beginning to say in the Hebrew. So they're speaking Hebrew. Okay, go to Mark 12 and 30. This is in the red.
Mark 12 and 30. And thus said, love the Lord thy God, and with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. Mark 12 and 30.
The whole point that's a beautiful scripture. That's what you need to do. But the point I wanted was in 29.
Mark 12 and 29. And Yahushua answered him, the first of all commandments is, hear, O Israel, our Lord God is one Lord.
So here it is. Who you English call Jesus is quoting Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. And here it is in the Jewish almanac that when them Edomites went over there and found the tribes, here it is, one of the natives is speaking Hebrew, and they're about to say, hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one. You see? Go ahead, Doc.
It says, conversations with them in Hebrew.
Oh! What?
Conversations with them in Hebrew revealed that they were members of the tribe of Reuben. It said, remember the tribe of Reuben and the remnants of the tribe of Levi, and lived nearby. The leader of the Amsterdam Jewish community, a prominent rabbi named Manasseh ben Israel, born 1604, died 1657, was profoundly impressed by this revelation. Here were remnants of Hebrews in one of the very last places on earth where they had not previously been discovered, and was not generally accepted that the coming of the Messiah and the final redemption of the world would take place only when the Lord's own people had been dispersed from one end of the earth even until the other. Deuteronomy 28:64.
Read that.
Deuteronomy 68:29.
64.
Got it.
Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood and stone.
So that's going into how the northern kingdom was going discontinue from their heritage and start worshiping idols on this side. Because when you go into the history, they was trying to keep the law, you know, but eventually they was gonna lose it by them Spaniards and them other heathens coming over there, trying to convert them, which they did. You see? Go ahead. What you got?
It says, to Manasseh, the message seemed unmistakable. The end of time was at hand. In 1650, he published his conclusions in a treatise entitled "The Hope of Israel."
Yeah, because the end of time was at hand for you so-called white people. You devils. You see? You devils. Go ahead.
It says the notion that the Indians were the lost tribesmen became even more popular in North America. And by the 18th century, many Americans accepted the possibility, if not the proven fact.
Meaning the 1800s. 18th century is around the 1800s.
1700s.
1800s.
Yeah.
Okay, Salaki, the water. 1700s. So they knew in the 1700s. Okay? They knew. And then they also knew because they had archaeology evidence and they had the Vatican because they had the records. Go ahead.
It says, if not the proven fact that the people whom they were overwhelming and displacing were degenerated descendants of the very nation which they were so intimately identified through religious faith. One of the
because them rats took our heritage, so to speak, and start saying that they was the chosen. You see? Go ahead.
It says, one of the most widely circulated volumes of the subject was a history of American Indians by a trader named James Adair.
Yeah, but we just got to read last week.
Yeah, it said this appeared in London in 1775 with abundant documentation in the form of cognates and the language and the cognates and the grammatical parallels relating Indian language to Hebrew. Observations on physical characteristics said to be shared by both people, and even assortment of supposedly shared cultural and psychological traits. The idea gained even more respectability with the publication in 1816 of a slim volume, Elias Boudinot, a distinguished public figure who had been president of the Continental Congress and director of the United States Mint. His book was entitled A Star in the West, or a humble attempt to discover the long-lost tribes of Israel.
Which they weren't lost. They weren't lost. The records tell you that they came over here. The Bible tell you that they came over here. So they weren't lost. Give me Jeremiah 17 and 4. And then give me this First Thessalonians chapter 2 or the Second Thessalonians chapter 2.
And though even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee.
Read that again. You got it now?
It says, a star in the west, or a humble attempt to discover the long-lost tribe of Israel.
See, they wasn't lost. But the thing about it is, when we tell the northern kingdom, meaning Ephraim, Gad, Asher, Simeon, Manasseh, Zebulun, Naphtali, Reuben, Issachar, they don't understand who they are because they've been discontinued from their heritage, lost their land and their nationality, according to the scriptures. So that's why they look at us crazy and think they Puerto Ricans and North American Indians or indigenous people, or they the Puerto Ricans. I mean, indigenous people, the Colombia, Europe, Colombians. They think that madness, man. Those are bywords, man, that the Edomites put on you when they conquered you. You know? Go ahead and read that. Then read that one more time, and then jump to Thessalonians.
Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemy in the land which thou knowest not.
See? So that's what happened. You see, that's what happened as a nation of people. Because part of that serving thy enemy is worshiping their idols. You see, of wood and stone. Because when the nation conquer you, they put up their idols and tell you to worship them. Worship their idols. You can't worship your power. Because that will give you strength. And the Most High will light this place up. If all Israel knew who they were. Quit passing the heritage. Go ahead.
For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
Meaning a long time. Jump to first Thessalonians. Second Thessalonians 2 and 3.
Let's see what following way.
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
I got it.
Go ahead.
It says 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3.
Here's Paul speaking, telling that they was going to lose their nationality and their heritage. You know?
It says, let no man deceive you by any means, that for that day not come, except they come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed. And
he's being revealed right now. Satan, so-called white man. That's all I want.
Yeah.
So-called white man. So Paul was telling them, you know, and Jeremiah himself and Paul himself was going to discontinue from their heritage. They was going to lose it. Their nationality and their land. And that's the same way the northern kingdom. Same way it happened to the northern kingdom. Go ahead.
It says here, the last book that he wrote was preparatory to their return to their beloved city, Jerusalem. He distinguishes carefully between Israel and Judah, the one being outcast and the other dispersed, and insists that the prophecies will be fulfilled through the restoration of both.
Give me Isaiah 55 and 8.
For no believer in Revelation can admit that they are lost to the world. He concludes that white Americans would do well to treat American Indians more humanely, if not for the sake of simple decency, then for their own future well-being.
Hold on. Read what you got. Isaiah 55 and 8.
Isaiah 55 and 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither my ways are your ways. Thus saith the Lord. For as heaven is higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than the ways.
So whatever these Edomites did, the Most High is not going to forgive them for what they did. The Most High thoughts Most High is the ultimate power. He controls everything, man. So when you walk around here saying these so-called white people gonna be forgiven for what they done to the northern kingdom, you out of your mind. Read that.
Isaiah 55:8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways or your ways, says the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
Keep going.
For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heavens, and turneth neither thither, but waters the earth, and maketh bring forth and bud. It may give a seed to the shore, and the bread to the eater.
Because the Most High created that and had that to do that. So you see today, it's happening. So the Most High created it, said it, and it's happening. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Because the Most High gave the word for it to happen like that. Go ahead.
So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth.
So us discontinue from our heritage, it happened. The Latinos, the Native Americans, the Latin descent, discontinue from their heritage, and it happened. You see? Esau kingdom gonna be destroyed, it's gonna happen. For what they did to the northern kingdom, they're gonna get punished for it. You see?
Revelation 13 and 10, it's gonna happen.
Read it. We'll finish that off and we're gonna read that. Well, we're gonna bring that out later.
Yeah, that's the close, ain't it? Yeah, that's the knockout.
Isaiah 55 and 11. So says the word that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the things whereto I send it.
Yeah. So we were gonna serve our enemies, go into slavery. So it happened. Go ahead. Finish that off.
Okay. It says, I'm gonna go back a little bit. It says he concludes that the white Americans would do well to treat the American Indians more humanely, if not for the sake of simple decency, then for their own future well-being. For all those have oppressed and despised him wherever they are, and become subjects of the anger, of the fury, of Yahweh their power.
See? So payback coming, man. Payback is coming. Now, we finna go into detail about what they did. Give me Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. The highlighted part.
It's American Holocaust. Get it in there. This is American Holocaust. What's the name of that book? American Holocaust by David Stannard. This is page 133. It's called Pestilence and Genocide. It says, once the carnage was over and the silence of death had descended on the killing fields, Colonel Chivington sent messages to the press that he and his men had just successfully concluded one of the most bloody Indian battles ever fought, in which one of the most powerful villages in the Cheyenne Nation was destroyed.
That's Gad. And then in that village, it was at least 2/3 of women and kids in that village. And that was a war against the Indians and the United States, which is Gad. Because Gad is Cheyenne. Okay? Go ahead.
It says there was exultation,
so-called North American Indians. Go ahead.
Exultation in the land. Cheyenne scalps are getting as thick here now as toads in Egypt. Joke the Rocky Mountain News.
Joke the Rocky Mountain News. Now, I looked that up. That's in Colorado, and they just closed in 2006. They closed that place down in 2006. Read that again.
It says, there was exhortation in the land. Cheyenne scalps are getting more thick here now as toads in Egypt, joked the Rocky Mountain News. Everybody has gone one and in anxious to get another to send east. Outside.
So they getting the Indians gas scalp and sending it, cutting their heads off and scalping them and sending it back overseas. Go ahead.
It says outside of Colorado, however, not everyone was pleased. Congressional investigations were ordered, and some among the investigators were shocked at what they found. One of them, a senator who visited the site of the massacre and picked up skulls of infants. Picked up skulls of infants whose milk teeth had not yet been shedded. Later reported that the concerned men of Congress had decided to confront Colorado's governor and Colonel Livingston openly on the matter, and so assembled their committee and the invited general publicly in the Denver Opera House.
So they all gathered together, right? They all gathered together talking about the situation, right? About how Gad got slaughtered, right? How the babies got slaughtered, right? Alright. Get that later.
It says, during the course of the discussion and debate, someone raised a question. Would it be best henceforth to try to civilize the Indians or simply to exterminate them?
What?
Or simply to exterminate them? Whereupon the senator wrote in a letter to a friend, there suddenly arose such a shout as never heard unless upon some battlefield. A shout almost loud enough to raise the roof of the opera house. Exterminate them! Exterminate them! The committee apparently was impressed. Nothing ever was done to Livingston, who took his fame and exploits on the road as an after-dinner speaker. After all, as President Theodore Roosevelt said later, the Sand Creek Massacre was a righteous and beneficial a deed as ever took place on the frontier.
This is what I want. Well, I'm gonna read it. This is Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked, the Most High says, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, for that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instructions and castest my words behind thee. So you saying that it was a righteous thing, you gonna get paid back, man. You gonna get paid back because we just read in the Jewish almanac that they knew who the tribes was. They knew they was Israelites. Then this Romans 13 and 10, love working no ill to his neighbor. Therefore love is the fulfilling of the law. They'll tell you all day long, love thy neighbor. Which according to the scriptures, a neighbor is an Israelite. That's your neighbor. Out of the Negro, Latinos, and Native American, that's your neighbor according to the scripture. But these devils are flip it on you and try to make it seem like they incorporated in it when they ain't nothing but demons and devils, man. These so-called white people, they Edomites. And let me this is King, we're reading out the King James Bible, and this is a picture of King James too. So you don't get it twisted and say, oh, y'all reading out a white man's book. Because that's the way you devils work. Go ahead, read what you got.
Ecclesiastes, Salakia 3 and 15. That which has been is now, and that which is to be has already been. And God requires which is past.
Read it again slow. Take it from.
Okay. Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which has been is now, and that which is to be has already been. And God requires that which is past.
He requires that which is past. Meaning the Most High has searched out everything, man. If we bringing out this history, the Most High know about it. You see? And that was during the 1800s. 1900s. What we reading about. That was damn near, 195 years ago? One day is like 1,000 years with the Most High. That ain't even a, man, you do the calculations.
10 seconds.
One day is like 1,000 years with the Most High. Because the Most High see everything in lightning speed. Everything moving lightning speed. We moving in slow motion. Read that again,
Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which has been is now, and that which is to be has already been. And God requires that which is past.
He required that which is past. Give me Isaiah 14 and 21. Hold it and read what you got.
It says,
make sure you tell me page.
this 134. It says, Sir Francis Drake, who had sailed up the Pacific coast and landed with his crews on the Oregon shore in 1579. And Drake may not have been the first European to venture that far north. Fray Antonio de la Ascensión.
So this is Spaniard right here. So the Spanish, for you Spanish speaking tribe, you think that Spain is your motherland. You think in your mind that Spain is your motherland, and you don't even know Barcelona was named after a so-called black man named Hannibal Barca. You think Spain is your motherland, you are out of your mind. The motherland is Jerusalem. Galatians 4 and 26. Go ahead.
It says, Fray Antonio de la Ascensión, one of the three clergymen who made the voyage with Viciano, feared the whole crew was close to death. But fortunately for the Spanish, and unfortunately for the natives, unfortunately for the natives, the Indians helped the crippled sailors, offering them fish, game, hazelnuts, chestnuts, acorns, and other things. For though but 6 of our men remained in the said frigate, the rest having died of cold and sickness, the Indians were so friendly and so desirous of our friendship that they not only did them no harm, but showed them all kindness possible. They can be no doubt that for their kindness the Indians were repaid by plagues, the likes of which nothing in their history had prepared them. Deuteronomy 28 and 59 through 62.
Read that. Oh, what you got? Read that.
Isaiah 14 and 21.
No. Go to Deuteronomy. I'm going to read this. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou